Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm late. Very minor technical issues going on, but it's good to see you're all already chatting in the chats. We've got Michaela. Hello, hi, welcome to the stream. We've got a Claude. We've got Elizabeth. Claude is saying, after more than a month, I finally have the motivation to finish writing the first draft of my novel, which I already know I'll rewrite from scratch, but I want to at least finish it before. Yeah. No, any draft that you do, you're going to learn some stuff, even if that stuff is just what you're not going to do. And I don't know, in my experience anyway, also like a bunch of ideas that you're like, oh, I'm not going to put this in the next draft of this, but I want this idea for this other thing that I'm doing. Maybe that's just me. Got Elizabeth saying that's great. Good idea to finish the draft before revising it. I quite agree. Thanks, Elizabeth. I was outlining the new version and something was missing. There's a term for it, but I can't find it right now. Needed to end something. End something. Resolution, perhaps. You need something to be resolved. This is me thinking with my music brain. If you've got a chord progression that goes somewhere, it's got to hit a resolution is when it kind of comes back to the bass note of the scale. And yeah, it's the thing that makes it sound like it's finished. And if you leave it hanging, that can be an interesting thing, but it's like the musical equivalent of cliffhanger. And Michaela says, that is amazing at Claude. Having been through burnout myself last year, I can say it's not an easy decision to make. We've got Hayden. Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Hello, Hayden. It will be a totally different story, way less epic. It'll focus more on the characters and the team. Yeah, that's an interesting approach. I think you can, especially when you're doing anything then sort of spec fic, it's very easy to get caught up in the world building because, as an author, it's a thing that gets you excited. But when you read it back, sometimes you gotta get back into, well, how my readers are gonna experience this world is through these characters. And sometimes it pays off to spend more time focusing on them and kind of letting the world building bleed in. Michaela saying hello to Hayden. Did Jack have enough caffeine? Yes, I am here. I have my caffeine. It is all good. There was just a bit of a delay with some technical things. I couldn't get something working, so it was like sudden panic stations. I did not sleep much last night because I am working for another mini deadline. Hayden says, ooh, caffeine's too cold to get out of bed to get some. Thank goodness school was cancelled for snow today. Yay, snow day! Woo! Means we get to keep you for the stream. Michaela is laughing. Okay, so looks like we are caught up. This is good. This is good. Now, I haven't had any messages in a few minutes, so just like, I might just type something in the chat to say, send me make a comment if there are problems with my audio. Cool. So got a boop. Yeah, reassuring me that I am audible. This is good. We're all here. We're chatting, we're doing things. We've got some really cool plans for stuff in the comments. We've got an interesting cliffhanger in the comments in and of itself. In will Hayden be able to drag his ass out of bed in order to get coffee? You could wear the blanket like a cape. waddle down to the kitchen, acquire the coffee, and waddle back. We hear you fine. Yay! It's all good. You're okay. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay, so I'm audible. It's probably funnier than it should have been. Uh Look, I've had like 3 hours of sleep. I don't. I'm not gonna sign for anything that's coming out of my mouth right now. I'm blanket man. Blanket man away. Yeah, yeah. All I'm saying is blankets are really good insulation, and you're inside your own house, so you may as well take advantage of that fact to go to the kitchen wearing a blanket and stay warm. Blanket man, love it. The new Marvel superhero. Maybe not the superhero we need, but probably the superhero we all deserve. Let's be real. Yeah. I think Blanket Man is like a shared identity. You know, in pro wrestling, they sometimes have masked characters that like they have five different people play at different times. I think that's what Blanket Man is like. I think that there are some days when we are all become Blanket Man, or you know Captain Blanket or Blanket Woman. It just is necessary. But yeah, we can all step into the blanket cape as needed, because sometimes you just gotta do that. Some days just need to be faced with a blanket around your shoulders. Thankfully, I got my thermals on, so I don't need to do that. I have extricated myself from the blanket, and I am pretty much ready to go. My mission for the day is I'm rewriting the method section. I have pretty much got past the big long thing where I was checking all of the different papers and writing ratings on a really long scale. Yeah. I can now get on with writing the writing that goes around that bit, and it's the section of the paper where I'm like, this is what I did. This is how I did it. If you wanted to replicate this, just follow this plan, and you will get theoretically the same results within a given tolerance of error. You're at least going to find the same information even if you interpret it differently. That's kind of what I've got to do, and send it off to my supervisor. I should have sent it earlier, but it wasn't quite done yet, so blip blip blip. But I'm not too far behind. Just good. Just good. I got caffeine. I got you lot. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna get it done. Gonna get it done within the stream, even, I think. So I'm going to set up the first 10-minute timer and we can get cracking on that. I am Blanket Man. You are Blanket Man. We are Blanket Man. No, I'm Spartacus. Okay. Okay. Serious face. Game face on. Doing sprints. So, gonna grab my timer. Gonna put it in the thing. 3, 3, 2, 1. Sprint. blanket man does whatever a blanket man does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's too fucking cold. Welcome back, everybody. How was your first short sprint? And let us know what are you doing today. We already know that Claude has got some plans. But what are the rest of you up to? What are your projects? Hayden says, I spent my sprint listening to. Oh my god! Spider Pig is a timeless classic, and I will not hear a word said against it. Elizabeth says 388 words in my draft for that one. Well done. Well done. That's cool. Hayden said that was great. I am glad that somebody else sees my sense of humor. This way I don't have to fight you. I did take a screenshot of the banner for later, posted on Instagram or something. You should follow me on Instagram at Jack Byron Writes. I don't post that much yet. I should get into posting more, but it'll be quality shit like that. Yep. I pretty much got set up, got the documents ready, got a thing lined up, and started a bit. I'm still not into useful word counting activity, but I'll get there maybe next sprint. I have a few calculations to make just to fill out a little thing, but getting there. Michaela says, I read one of my previous chapters, 0 words written. Rereading is part of the process. We gotta normalize in these streams to like having sprints where you don't have a word count. It's normal. In fact, because of when I started streaming and when and what stage of the work I was at, most of my streams have probably had on average a negative word count. I'm editing, and I am probably what they call an overwriter. I tend to just use too many words, over describe things, too much detail, get a bit lost in it, just stick it out there on the page, and then I have to delete a lot of it. It's actually interesting now because I've got some more kind of feedback from my supervisor, and while the first one was like, oh, you need to cut out loads of this, so I went back and trimmed it really down and sent it back, and she's like, too much cutting, put some of it back in. So finding the balance is always the thing. But yeah, reading, getting back up to where you're at, figuring out where you need to start, looking at it from a new perspective, all of those things are important to the development of your work and should be honored as such. Hayden said, I started listening to the Hamilton soundtrack because I was rethinking my first chapter for a new project, which is about a guy serving in the lower legislative chamber. Are you telling me that he ain't got the votes? You gotta get a congressional approval. He ain't got the votes. I take it that you've noticed. Give me a sec. This then. Bit of a bit of a fan. Just a little bit. I haven't seen Encanto yet. People keep telling me great things about it. More Lin-Manuel stuff. I should see it, but I'm fucking busy. But yeah, people keep People keep making memes about it, so I think I'm gonna have to watch it. Glasses, I have to go. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for that song, Jack. I promise I could be more tuneful than that, but it's like early in the morning and yeah, requires a little bit more warming up than it used to. I'm still not used to this whole voice having broken thing entirely. It's not been that long. Aid says, I have learned more about congressional procedure in 72 hours, and I have in several years. That's somehow terrifying because there's so much more to study. Yeah, yeah. I am glad you found a rabbit hole, though. Rabbit holes are good. They are inspiring. They're where the fun details and the meat comes from. And unlike a lot of the rabbit holes that I seem to go down, yours is actually relevant to what you're studying. Isabella Cox says, hey. And declares her love for the Hamilton soundtrack. Yes, it is a very good soundtrack. It's got some tunes. It's got a kettlebell who conquers it. Yep. Encanto's pretty good. Just know that we don't talk about Bruno. Yeah, I've been told that we don't talk about Bruno, but everything I've seen is like he's this kind of like this is very much as somebody who hasn't seen it, but I'm just like, ooh, he's this slightly creepy, madly-eyed dude who makes prophecies, and he's got rats, and I'm like, why don't we talk about Bruno? He sounds really cool. I'm sure there's some sort of deep generational trauma related answer to this question, but rats, rats are cute. I know that I am a bit of a stereotype, but rats. Isabella says, I'm literally watching it right now. I should probably write, though. Oh, I mean, look, the sprints are here. You can use them however you want to. You can use them to watch something, or read something, or do some housework, or you can use them to write. In fact, because of the time traveling magic of YouTube, you could use it to watch a thing and then watch it back and use it to write, or vice versa. You know, you can listen to them more than once. Let's see, you can do whatever you want to, even more than usual. So you know, if uh, if you decide to write, let us know what you're writing. If you decide to watch the show, then give us some live commenting commentary about it. Tell us things. No spoilers, but like, you know, convince me to watch it. Hayden is going to be right back. He's going to risk getting coffee. Oh, he's a man on a mission. I mean, if you want to be non-stop, caffeine's a good start. Okay. I think that I have rambled for long enough, so I'm going to go into the file here, and I'm going to grab a timer. So we're going to go for 25 minutes. We're going to get some stuff done, whatever that stuff may be for you. We are going to do it in 3, 2, 1, and sprint. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go to the comments and see if Hayden has survived his dangerous trip to acquire coffee. Did the blanket protect you? Where are we up to? We've got Keenan's back. Hello, Keenan. How are you? Hayden says, I can't find the coffee, so I'm uselessly half frozen. Oh no! Oh no, what a tragedy! Oh no. Oh, Blanket Man is just gonna have to come up with something. I don't know. Is there black tea in the house? That might be, that's warming and a little bit caffeinated. There's cocoa. You're a bit scraping the barrel for caffeine, but at least it's warm, and you might be less uselessly frozen. Keenan says, "Rip." Fair. Oh dear. Casey Neal is here. She says, "Hey everyone. Hey Casey. Welcome. Welcome. It's been a very weird stream. We've invented a superhero so far. Gone on a ramble about Bruno, who apparently we shouldn't talk about. Random Hamilton references. It's been a weird stream so far. So you've come in at a great time. Maybe you will make things more sensible. Probably you will add to the madness." Casey says, "Talking mom on the phone, and then I'll hop on chat." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let the madness build a little bit in your absence, and then come burst in and go, "What's going on here?" That'd be nice. Hayden is sad because there is no coffee. It's got to be there somewhere. It's, it can't just be gone. Your local blanket man is cold. Please provide him with caffeine or adrenaline. Kind of the same thing, adrenaline's like just cutting out the middleman. Elizabeth Craig says 744 on the draft for that one. Well done. Well done. There's some good progress there. I am not throwing away my shot of adrenaline. Yeah. 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 Yeah, a pinch, try and find something to jump scare yourself with. But there's gotta be coffee in the kitchen somewhere. You wouldn't have noticed. You wouldn't have missed it running out, would you? Would you? It's probably just behind something. Give it a minute for your sleepy brain to kick into gear, and then poke around the back of the cupboard. I bet you find it. I did pretty well. I was doing some calculations. I might actually be able to say something about what I did this time because it's a bit more quantifiable. Oh no, because I'm doing it out of order in a way that totally makes sense, but makes it really hard to count how many I've done. Yeah, go me. Yeah. Oh well. I will say that I am I am here to support the people who have uncountable progress, but actually I just am a person with uncountable progress. But I'm the guy who's got the microphone here, so I can make it look like I'm doing something with it. Yeah, this is my morning for paraphrasing lyrics or quoting them. Yeah, that was a paraphrase. Okay. I started my chapter 1 after lengthy internal debating and have 236 words. Well done. Sans coffee. That's some good going, especially as you probably spent at least some of that sprint standing in the kitchen while a tiny violin played in the background, and you stared up at the empty cupboard with big puppy dog eyes going, "Why, universe? Why have you forsaken me?" Or something like that. Michaela says, got some work done. And as always, I ate a candy. Need my daily sugar doses. This is good. It's good. Get some sugar. Got some work done. This is nice. It's nice. Isabella says she's almost finished with chapter 2. Well done. Oh, everybody's being so productive this morning, even those that are unfortunately sans caffeine. We are rocking it today. And I think that as we are rocking it, we should continue on a roll and do another sprint. I'm going to load it up here. Ready to go on another one? Let's go in 3, 2, 1, sprint. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Ooh, it looks like we've got an active chat over here. Uh, da, 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 Hayden says, "What comes next? Soon you will see. We'll go to the store for coffee after it starts getting warm. Then the heat might kick in on my dorm." Is that is that a are we taking it off? Because what I'm reading is ba da 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 da. Or is it meant to be more of a ba 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 kind of a Go Blanket Man song, which I have now totally ruined by adding the stripper music. Let's just leave that. You can correct me. Justin Case is here. Hello, Justin. You have arrived at a weird time. But then again, this stream is always fairly weird, so that was a risk you were always taking, and you knew that because you've been here before. Casey says, really could use some coffee, but I don't have any in the house. My work from home setup suck. Ah. Oh. That's that's a fairly basic thing that you're missing there, Casey. You should rectify that. Any good office needs some coffee, so if your home is now your office, your home has to have coffee. Gotta go out and get some. Casey says, while working on my outline yesterday, I found I'm missing a scene in chapter 1, so now I gotta figure that out. I haven't decided if I'll just shift my scenes up or create a new one for that slot. When you say you're missing a scene, is it just that you missed one out in the numbering order? Or is it that there's something that should go there? That there's a break between two scenes? I'd say that if it's the former, fuck it, just renumber them. It's fine. No need to add stuff just for the numbers, because one of those things will take 2 seconds, and the other thing could take a very long time. But that's me being pragmatic. If it is the latter, then yeah, you are gonna have to figure out what goes in that gap, even if it is only changing up the ending of the previous scene or the beginning of the last scene so that they flow more nicely into each other. We have got a Kibby. Hello, Kibby. Welcome back. It is good to see you. I hope you are having a good morning also. We are here being a bit weird. We have had the creation of Blanket Man. We have had the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Bruno. We have had stripper music. It's all going down here. Two people in my chat, despite Caffeinated being in the title of the stream, appear to have forgotten to make coffee be in their house, so they're kind of struggling along a little bit, but they're still being productive, so I'm very proud of them. It's all good. Got Casey saying good morning. Kibby is going hey. Yeah. So we are all doing things. I'm actually writing stuff finally. I mean, there's a fair amount of formatting still going on, but yeah, I'm actually back to a stage where I can write things, which is really nice. I was really sick of building tables because anyway, yep, I was starting to get a bit bored. Yep. But I am now doing some actual writing, which is nice. And it means that I am that little bit closer to being done. And anything that is that little bit closer to being done is good. How did the rest of y'all do? Did you get anything good done? Did you get distracted by anything fun that you want to share with us? Do you want to explain what song I should have been singing along to the da da da? Hamilton Jack. Oh, you'll be back. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I got it now. We need a way to demarcate like half and quarter notes in das and bas. There probably is one. I just don't know it. 368 words. Woo! Death to the bots. Death to the bots. Death to the bots. Casey says I need to buy a coffee pot. You are correct. You need to buy a coffee pot now. It's a business expense. Kurg for the win. Yeah, I have heard that they are very good. Yeah, my dad bought, it wasn't a Kurg. It was some other kind of coffee machine, and he bought it from Lidl, which is like or was it an Aldi? It was one of the two. It was a El Cheapo German grocery and other weird stuff store, and he bought it. And very soon after, my sister saw that there was a recall on them because some of them had shorted out and caused problems. And my dad is like, I don't know, there isn't enough risk in my life. It's a bit of a thrill. Also, I know enough about electricity that's not actually going to explode in my face, and this is an earth socket, and blah, 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 blah. My sister's like, you would never let me get away with that. It's like, I know, that's because I know better than you. So yes, my dad is enjoying his coffee with the thrill of imminent death, just cause. My aunt is now attempting to get him to persuade him to take her coffee machine off her because she doesn't need it. She mostly makes filter coffee anyway. She kind of got it as a Christmas present for somebody, and it's just a bit too much effort. And she's there going, please just take this one. It won't explode. And Dad's like, if we can prove that it makes better coffee, then I might think about it. So as you can see, bug nuttery runs in the family. You can see where I got it from. Casey says I used to have a Keurig, never used it since we had one at work, so I got rid of it. But now I'm regretting that decision. Oh no. Oh no. Well, you never can predict these things. Maybe there will be a cooler, go faster one now. I mean, it's January. There's January sales on. There might be somewhere that's selling a really nice upscale model one off cheap. Could be a thing. Maybe have a look. Katie says, I am obsessing over the Gypsy Sister TV series. Oh, I haven't heard of that. What's it like? Binge watching, yeah. Just, yeah. That is, yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have a good series to binge watch. Casey says, "Oh, on the chapter scene thing, guests and numbering thing, all my chapters don't have to have 3 scenes if I don't want it to." So it's more of a structural thing that you've kind of like, okay, so so I've kind of said, okay, there's kind of 3 scenes per chapter, and that's about the pace I want. For something like that, I would say depends. Because kind of having a regular amount of scenes per chapter is kind of one of the things that contributes to pacing perception. If those are slightly longer scenes, the 2 that are in that chapter, then it might just make sense to it might feel like a really drawn out chapter if you added another scene. If they're shorter, it might feel like that chapter is kind of over like that. But there are times where you might want that. Like if it's getting towards the climax, having something that feels like it's accelerating might be something that you want. I'd say read it, suck it, and see. I'd say that if the chapter feels finished, call it a finished chapter, and see what your beta reader or editor has to say about it, because they might not even notice. Kibby is dying laughing over here. What is the thrill? What is life without the thrill of impending death? I think the pandemic has made my dad dangerously bored. He's not the sort of guy who will like go out and do things that are properly dangerous to relieve that boredom. But if presented with a death coffee machine, N is going off. He'll be back. Soon you'll see. KB says it is a TV series that follows the life of American Romanian gypsy sister in West Virginia and Tennessee. Oh, really interesting. Like a documentary, or like a sort of fictionalized story, or yeah, it sounds cool. Sounds cool either way. Like an interesting person's life. Great advice as always. I don't know. I just say stuff comes out my face hole. Sometimes it might even make sense. If you can get something useful out of it, all power to you. Sisters, yeah, that makes sense. This is focusing on two people in the same family, siblings. Block. It's not letting me block bots again. It's really annoying. So if somebody with a spanner could just like hit the bot on the head with it, please. It's a reality show, but we all know how real they actually are. Yeah. So they are. It is focusing on some slightly fictionalized real people with some amount of script, but yeah, it's improv. Yeah. Just in case says I never count scenes, but my chapters end up 10 to 12 pages long. Yeah, that's a nice length. It's a chunk that I think that's a workable kind of chunk of book as a reader. I could read 12 pages before I get disturbed. Casey says I got it. Katie says already did. My chapters average around 3k to 5k words. See, because I don't think of chapters like that as a reader. I'm not sure whether those are that sounds like a real long chapter. But generally when I'm counting words, it's academic writing, and my perception of how long that amount of words takes to read. I mean, thinking about Nano, that's like 10 chapters. That seems like a reasonable length for a book. It's cool. It's nice that you've got an idea of what your own kind of rhythm is. That you know, say it's average. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 10 chapters and 50,000 words. Yeah, that's So that's cool, and it's nice that you kind of know that you're there, and because it gives you an idea of how long stuff's gonna take. Maybe, which is cool. Would you ever consider a bit of a random question, but I just thought of it there. Would you ever consider doing something like Kindle Vella or Wattpad or one of those things where you're releasing a book like Dickens did, a chapter at a time, um, sort of selling it or giving it in small increments, so that you're kind of doing the writing equivalent of soap opera. I think it's a really interesting idea, something that used to be a lot more common, but then publishing changed and it wasn't so common anymore. But now, with the rise of the internet, it's more of a thing again. I've heard that Kindle Vella has some issues, or at least had some issues, with people getting their accounts frozen, or difficulties with publishing over things that really didn't make much sense when it was getting started. I don't know what it's like now, but I'm sure that author tubers. If you wanted to try it out, you could probably find out fairly easily. Casey says, I think I'm leaning towards fluffing the other scenes instead of adding a new one. The others need more meat anyways. Yeah, that makes sense. I'd say that 3 scenes per thing is probably something that readers aren't going to notice as much as you do. That if they notice it at all, it'll be completely subconscious. And if you don't have another scene to put in there and the others need meat, well, you've made your decision there. Kirby's saying, no, never thought about it, but it's interesting. Yeah, I think it is interesting. I mean, it's sort of a parallel to how music publishing, if you could call it that, is gone. Now that you can download individual songs very easily, while there are still a lot of people making albums, a lot of people are now sort of going, okay, well, let's just release a song at a time and, get sell it in lots of small increments, rather than asking people up front for hey, here's my album, pay 12 quid for it. Instead going, hey, do you want to buy a song for $1? It's a way of getting people invested, discouraging them from just going and streaming it instead. And for some people, it really works as a sort of as a way of working, because they're not sort of doing these really sort of drawn out, intense projects and then doing nothing for ages, and then drawn out, intense projects. You can sort of work at a consistent rate, which sometimes helps you with social media algorithms. If you're promoting it on other platforms, having something that you can post about consistently can help, can be a thing. So I don't know much about it myself, but but I think it's something that, were I looking to do anything professionally with writing in the immediate future, I would probably look into it, but mostly because I, as we have discussed on this channel before, I fear commitment. Novels feel like commitment. A series of shorts might be a thing. Okay, so I think that is quite enough rambling about random stuff. So we're going to do one more sprint before it's time to go. Hayden's got to me. I mean, I took a risk putting on the t-shirt, but Hayden's got to me, because I say that and I'm like, one last sprint. No. Stop it. No. Okay. One last sprint. Stretch, save, get ready to go. Fingers on your keyboards. Coffee out if you got it. Ready. In 3, 2, 1. everybody, welcome back. How did you all do this sprint? Let's have a look in the comments. Da, da, da. Justin says one could perhaps release prequel spin-off short stories for free download as teasers for full novels. Yeah, you got the old noodle thinking. That's some good marketing there. I think it's possibly a good idea, as all drug pushers know, the first one's free. They'll be back. Elizabeth says, have to run, but thanks for the sprints. I got lots done. Thanks for being here. Always lovely to have you in the chat, Elizabeth. Casey says, bye. Cool. Okay. Well, I think I'm also going to have to run because I should be eating some food, getting ready for my meeting, all of those things. I think I've done as much as I'm going to do in the sprints today. Thank you all for being here. It made it a lot easier to get through all of that major boring shit that I had to do today. So I'm always grateful for you here. If you are finding yourself in need of some more sprints, have a little look in the description box below. You will find Devon Cutting's playlist, and in that there's a whole day's worth of sprints that you could be doing. There will be somebody starting at 5:30 or at the top of the hour. I'm not going to get into what time zones you're in because I'm doing enough math as it is. Or if you want to listen to more of my wittering, you can pop into also in the description box below. You can find replays of all of the other things I have ever done on the YouTubes. If you would like to listen to somebody different, but also quite interesting and energetic and stuff, Kibby Roseland is in the chat. She's got some sprints you could listen to. I think Hayden's also started streaming. There's a few people around, so have a little click. Give him a like, give him a subscribe maybe if you like it. And if you have enjoyed this stream today, give it a like, if you subscribe if you haven't, and maybe even ring that bell because maybe, just maybe, YouTube might tell you when I start streaming. No guarantees though. Casey says, didn't get much writing done, but I did pay some bills. Ew, adulting. Has to be done. You can't all be blanket man all the time. Michaela says, thanks for the stream. Heart, Michaela. Casey says, have a good lunch and meeting, Jack. See you on Thursday. Yep. Thank you very much. And I will indeed see you all next Thursday. Jack Byron